just like that, it's time for our weekly roundup of all the things Lady just ain't gonna do this week. Number 1, in today's episode of What in the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is This? A Black woman is charged with a hate crime against a white woman in New York, and it's shit like this that makes me hate it here. So in New York, there are these Black girls who are being charged with a hate crime for giving a white girl these hands. Now, no, I am not at all defending the catching of these hands that this white woman received. No. But this is not a hate crime, and I blame this bullshit DEI for giving us racism happens to all of us. Fuck that. No, it does not. Okay, so here's the story, and I have to be honest, I had to check about 17 times to make sure that this was not an article from The Onion. So apparently some young Black women were riding a bus in Queens. 2 of them were 15 and 16, and 1 of them was 19. 3 young women riding a bus in Queens approached a white woman on the bus, and they had an altercation. Apparently, the girls told the white woman that they hate white people and the way they talk, punched her in the head, and hit her several times with a shopping bag that had a jar inside of it. The woman was taken to the hospital, and she received 3 staples for a deep laceration. The district attorney from Queens, Melissa Katz, said in a press statement that, as alleged, the defendant, as well as 2 other apprehended individuals, carried out an unprovoked assault on a public transit rider simply because of the victim's race. I am committed to holding accountable those who perpetuate bias-motivated attacks. These girls are facing charges of up to 15 years for that attack. Now let's talk a little bit about hate crimes, especially in today's context. In the state of New York, a hate crime is defined as a traditional offense motivated by bias. The definition goes on to say, a person commits a hate crime when one of a specified set of crimes is committed, targeting a victim because of a perception or belief regarding the race, color, national origin, ancestry, gender identity or expression, religion, religious practice, age, disability, or sexual orientation of a person regardless of whether the belief or perception is correct. These crimes can target an individual, a group of individuals, or public or private property. Now, here's my issue with this. First, why are hate crimes being defined as bias, as if all bias is created equal? This is prejudice backed by action, and it was awful and horrible and painful. But a hate crime is a crime committed against someone of a disadvantaged group because of prejudice. This sets a dangerous precedent, my friends, in the vein of reverse racism, which, of course, as you know, does not exist. There is not now, nor has there ever the fuck been, an epidemic of hate directed towards white people. Now, let's be clear. Hate crimes in New York were reported to have increased by 76% as of April, compared to the same period last year, according to data from the NYPD's Hate Crimes Task Force. And as of June 28th, there have been 35 hate crimes committed against Black people in the city, 51 against Asians, 149 against Jewish people, and only 1 recorded against a white person. Okay, so this district attorney is committed to fighting back against hate crimes, but hate crimes going up against all these other groups. And you focused on the shit that happened here? Now, again, definitely there is something happening here with these young women, and they should be held accountable. It should be addressed. But is this the way to address it? No, ma'am. All right, well, here's what we want more of this week. Number 1, Black Voters Matter stays winning for us, and the High Court agrees with an important decision regarding Georgia voters and our rights. So this week, there was a victory in the Supreme Court. And finally, honey, because the news coming out of there lately has been straight up basura. For those of you who don't know what basura is, it's trash. Now, here's some quick background. There are many forms of voter suppression, from limitations or even elimination of mail-in voting to prohibiting handing out water in voting lines. The version of voter suppression in Georgia that the Supreme Court just blocked involved requiring a statewide election for every localized race. The Georgia Public Service Commission, which sets utility rates and has 5 members, was up for re-election. In 1998, a law was passed that divided the state into 5 districts, with 1 commissioner representing 1 district each. The commission, however, was elected through statewide elections. Now, 1/3 of Georgians are Black. In District 3, Black voters are a majority. Those are the counties that make up the Atlanta metro area. 4 Black voters from District 3 sued to challenge this practice of statewide elections, saying that it violated the Voting Rights Act because it diluted their power to choose the candidates of their choice. Well, the Supreme Court agreed, and thank God they did. So, short story long, that is a victory for Black voters and one more L for white supremacy, and we love to see it. Other things Lady loves this week is a summit on white supremacy, and this week President Biden announced that he will be conducting a summit called United We Stand, looking at the impact of hate-fueled violence on democracy and public safety. The summit is scheduled to take place September 15th and will feature civil rights leaders, business owners, members of law enforcement, local, state, and federal elected officials, and more. Now look, y'all know Lady abhors symbol over substance. And what's also real is that President Biden has made even stronger statements about white supremacy and white nationalist violence than even former President Obama did. It may be a pill that's hard to swallow, but nonetheless, it's objectively true, and statements sometimes do matter, especially in this political context. This summit ain't gonna solve much, but it does send a strong statement at a time when we have white nationalists serving in the federal government, y'all. There absolutely must be action behind this, and there has been. The Department of Justice is actively prosecuting hate crimes, and we want to see that expanded and sustained. It sends a strong message to the Black voter base as well. It's important that as much as Lady critiques the Biden administration, she also gives them their propers where they are due, and this is a place where they are due.